Hickory Grove Farm is not really a farm, although it used to be. It's a grand residence that's on Hickory Grove Road, just west of Lazar Road, and the corner of what's now called Chestnut Run. There have been three major owners of the house in the 100 years that it's been there. The first was the Depew family. Sherman Depew bought the 145-acre farm lot in 1916. He's from the East, and he is a nephew of one of the lawyers for the Vanderbilts. He had a architect, Alexis Litchfield from New York, designed the house, and it looks a lot like Litchfield's house. He built this estate house in 1917, and you can see from this picture, both from a 1920 image of it and the current image of it, that the date of the house is embossed above the front entrance with the actual 1917 date showing. House was featured in a magazine called The Spur, in which it showed interior views as well as the exterior views, and shows how much it looked then as it still looks today. Sherman Depew's wife was Hazel Depew. Hazel was actually Hazel Pingree, the daughter of Hazen Pingree, hence her name Hazel. Hazen was the mayor of Detroit for a number of years in the late 1800s, and actually governor of Michigan from 1897 to 1901. The Depews were founding members of the Bloomfield Open Hunt, and this you can get a feel for by the picture showing the hitching stone, that big stone with an iron ring in it, of which there are two in front of their house today still, which they would use to actually tie up horses that were coming up in the early days of the house. The Depews had two daughters, Florence and Valerie. Sherman unfortunately died 7 years after they built the house. He died in 1924, but Hazel, his wife, and his two daughters lived on there for a number of years and entertained and used the house greatly. 11 years after he died, she remarried a gentleman by the name of Wilson Mills. Hazel sold the property to the next family, owned it for a long time, the Skillman family. Robert Skillman was the vice president of Minnesota Mining and Manufacturing Company. He bought it in 1940. He died like Sherman Depew. He died shortly after buying it. He died in 1945. His wife, Rose, continued to live on there for many more years until her death in 1983. They had no children. She renamed the property Fairfield Farm and no longer called it Hickory Grove Farm. Actually, I didn't mention it, but Hickory Grove Farm was named after the road that was on, obviously. But she called it Fairfield Farm, and she was a great philanthropist. One of the major things that she started was the Skillman Foundation, which is still in existence today and supports students in the area, particularly in the Detroit area. 2 years later, after her death in 1983, the subdivision now called Chestnut Run was created, and the farm is no longer a farm, but it is just about 2 acres left with a house on it that is an excluded parcel from the actual subdivision plot itself. The aerial photograph from this last year gives you a good view from above as what the layout of the lot is and of the outline of the house itself. This again was taken last year on its 100th anniversary. There were a couple of other owners after the Skillmans for a short period of time, no more than 10 years, and then the house was sold to the current owners, Sid and Elizabeth Ross, Sidney and Elizabeth Ross. They had a wonderful party to celebrate its centennial last year, in which they sent out this invitation to their friends. And it's interesting to note that on the second page of the invitation, they used the 1920 property map of the area as directions for their friends to find their house on Hickory Grove Road.